is the session for you. You are listening to Midday Talk with Luzuko here on Agape FM, and we are joined now by Melissa Butler, who left corporate 18 years ago. She jumped and was like, I'm leaving this thing. I've got to do something for myself. I'm starting a business, and she's going to tell us about a business, the journey, why. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Yay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Awesome. How are you feeling today, Melissa?
I'm feeling fantastic. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome.
Real privilege to be here. So thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I was baffled, and I'm like, you live in corporate, you live in security, you living, and at that time you were married as well.
I was.
And you want to start your own business. What made you decide? Because obviously it's not something that you like decide today. It might have been coming for years, but you think you should live this thing, but you didn't. But what made you decide that I'm going to start?
You know what? Thank you, and it's such a good point, because it was a long time ago, and I was working for a firm of chartered accountants, and I was working as a personal assistant to the senior partner, and I had a great job, but I'd kind of just got into that position. I'd left school not really knowing what I wanted to do, and did a secretarial course, and off I went, and little bit closer.
Yes.
And so I had a great job though, and life was going on. It was going along okay, but I suddenly realized that if I carried on doing what I was doing at that time, my dreams weren't going to come true. And that was, often we often let life take us, and we forget that God has given us dreams for a reason. He's planted that seed inside us for a reason. And yet we kind of end up putting it to the back of our minds and thinking, well, you kind of just forget about it. Life happens, each month happens. You become comfortable in your uncomfortableness.
Situation.
You do. And I remember one day I was sitting at my beautiful desk overlooking this garden, and I just looked out there and I thought, and I can only say it was God put this on my heart, because I sat and I just thought, I need to do something where I'm going to make more of an impact. I want to do something where I'm going to make an impact on other people, impact on people in the world. And I just thought to myself, I've got to find something. And I remember shortly after that, I had a friend coming to visit, and she could only see me on a certain day, and I only had 45 minutes lunch. And I just thought to myself, and I was so annoyed. I thought, this is not carrying on like this. I don't want to be dictated to how much time I can have off. Although it was all great, and I'm not complaining about where I was at all. It was fantastic. But I just realized there was more. And I realized going forward in my life, I wanted to have the ability to make decisions for myself and choices and freedom. And also to be able to look forward excited to the future.
True.
And that's so often we just let life take us instead of realizing that there is more out there for us. And so that was when I was introduced to this part-time business at that time very much. And it was a scary step at first.
But when you started it was a part-time thing.
It was very much part-time. I got excited because I saw that I could build it up part-time alongside what I was doing, which was ideal, but that took sacrifice from my part. It meant that I had to put in extra hours per day, so I would get home and then there would be a few extra hours of work for my part-time business every evening. We had a part-time business already, actually, catering on the weekends, and so we did that as well. And then I had to fit this in. It meant sacrificing events. It meant I sacrificed a few friends' weddings because I was building my business. But my dream was so big inside me that I was going to do what I needed to do.
Do you think, though, that people who are aspiring to do business, do you think that they are aware that they have to sacrifice a lot of things? They are not going to attend events. They are not going to have free time or me time as often as they want to have. Do you think that we are aware of that?
I think the people that succeed obviously do. But we always say you need to pay now so you can play later. And it sounds like it is a cliche, but it's one of those things that is so true. And the people that truly do succeed know the power of just believing in their dream and doing what they have to do at the time. And you do have to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. For me, one of the biggest things was people looking at me and saying, what do you know about that business? and not taking me seriously. And so it's things like that, but you've got to constantly be believing in yourself enough that you will do whatever it takes. And yes, it is a big thing. I think especially these days, people expect things to happen instantly.
True.
And they will stick with it for a certain length of time, but it's a long time you need to stick with something. And a long time, 2 years may feel like a long time, but it's not really in the greater scheme of things.
Yeah, consistency
Yes,
is one of the big things that
exactly.
you need. What's the one thing that you were like, as soon as I am doing my business, I am going to do this? Maybe a holiday, like I am going to do this thing.
I can tell you. I can tell you exactly. I was one of those fortunate people that grew up riding horses. I was allowed to do that. I mean, I was able to do that. And I always just presumed that when I grew up, I would always have horses. That's what I did. Until I grew up and realized that I had to pay for them.
Yes.
Plus I had to pay for myself and live, and life doesn't just happen like that. And so that was my biggest dream, was to get to the point where I could afford to have a horse of my own.
Oh, wow.
And so that was a big driving force for me. I also didn't have my own car at the time, so my husband and I shared cars. So it was those two things were important. But if you talk about the heartfelt thing, it was the horse, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
And you have one.
And I now have a horse, and my two daughters have a horse each as well.
What's the names? Do you name them?
My horse?
Yeah.
Oh, my word, I could talk to you all day about my horse.
Yeah.
My horse's name is Kate.
Oh, okay. Hello, Kate. But being in corporate,
Yes.
what did it inform to help your business to flourish and to be where it is today?
You know what? I think discipline, one of the things, and the fact that you have to show up every day. The difference in the corporate world, though, you've got to answer to someone. So you've got a boss, you've got people around you that you have to answer to. When you go off on a business on your own, you don't have to answer to anyone. And that's often the most difficult thing, because you don't have someone there telling you what you have to do. You've got to answer to yourself. So
Accountability.
yes, accountability, but with yourself. You've got to be 100% honest with yourself. But I mean, from the corporate world, yes, it was discipline, showing up all the time, even when you didn't feel like it, and putting other people first as well, which is important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we talk about your business and what it does, also, what were some of the shocks that you did not anticipate as you went by yourself to do your own thing? That you were like, I did not see this one coming. I didn't see me encountering such a thing in business.
Think about that one. I think it was people not taking me seriously. That was a big thing. I was also much younger then, and the business that I have stepped into was, I felt that people didn't take me seriously or it seriously. So people were like, you're never going to make money with that. Are you mad? You're going to leave a corporate job and you're going to do that? So that was, but also having to constantly feed myself and believe in myself and get rid of the self-doubt. Because although I knew I was on the right path, we all do it. We doubt ourselves.
True.
And when the going gets tough, you think, oh, should I actually have done this? Am I heading in the right direction? So that personal development, I realized, was very, very important.
Beautiful
very early
thing.
on.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing that you said there. Not everyone has to see the dream. Not everyone is going to see the bigger picture, and it's okay.
Yes,
it's fine.
It is okay.
And you are doing it for yourself. And one day they will see and be like, you were right.
Yeah. And what I've loved about this business is it started off as my dream, but I've seen so many other people achieve their dreams. And so quite often in a business, when you start off, it is about yourself. Me. And then it gradually changes to being about how you can help other people and empower other people. And it's not about you at all. It's about the impact and the difference you can make in other people's lives. And that's when it gets really exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please tell us, what is it about Balance for Life?
Yeah. So the company that I'm associated with is called Neolife. They've been around since 1958. Okay. We are a health and nutrition company, health and wellness. My company and my business is called Balance for Life, because that's really where my passion is empowering and coaching and assisting and helping people to achieve that balance in life. And I always say, even more particularly so, definitely not only women, but as I'm a woman and I'm a mom and I know what this business has done for me, that's where my heart is, to be able to offer it to other moms and say, come on, you can believe in yourself, and we can do this. You can build up something for yourself at the same time as everything else you're doing. So one part of it, the main part that I love is empowering people to start up sideline businesses, which they can build up online for themselves, and really they can become financially free, absolutely, and achieve their dreams. But the vehicle to take you there is we've got three ranges of products. We've got a nutritional range, which is 100% organic, 100% vegan, non-GMO, and we've had 32 world firsts in nutrition. So some firsts, like omega-3 was the company's world first. We all know about omega-3. Your sustained release of vitamin Bs, that was one of our firsts. So the nutrition range is really just about filling in the gaps in our diet. We don't get all the food that we think that we should from our diet these days. I mean, we eat out of our veggie garden and very much eating organic, real food, but a lot of people aren't able to do that. And so we look at the world at the moment. Chronic disease is the number one killer. Forget about COVID and everything else. Chronic disease is the number one killer of people in the world. And when we think that one person every 8 seconds is dying from diabetes or diabetes-related condition, it's hectic. And so, but the exciting part of that is that if we can educate people, and my passion is saying to people, look, you can make a few small changes in your health. Take control of what you can take control of. And that can make huge differences in your life. So through our nutritional range, we've got a range of cleaning products which are 100% biodegradable and non-toxic, which goes together hand in hand with the nutritional point of view, because there's so much in the way of allergies and autoimmune diseases and that kind of thing. And then we've got a range of skincare which is 100% vegan and 100% organic. So it's basically helping people, like I say, to take control of what they can. We can't control what's going on out there, but we can control ourselves, our diet, and our home environment.
Awesome. That's the second, and the third is
so the skincare.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So basically my business as a whole is empowering people to better health through our range of products, and better wealth through a business opportunity which if they choose to, it can completely change their lives. As it has mine and our family.
So is it like if I join or take the health, I can also sell to other people to bring them? So we work
on the network marketing basis business model. It is a huge, around the world, network marketing is huge, and I think you'll realize even over the last few months, it's become very much better known online. Everyone's talking about it.
Yes.
Our company's been around since 1958, doing it in the network marketing way, and it's basically helping people to shop for themselves. They can link on, get their own website immediately. They can shop for themselves, but they can also introduce other people to the products, and maybe to the products or maybe to the business. And they basically get paid back a commission at the end of the month from the company according to the products that move through their organization. So I love it because I don't earn anything from recruiting someone or getting someone started. That's not where the money. It's only when they start to use the products and they start to benefit that I get to benefit, and that's what I love about it.
Wow, that's beautiful. When can people find Balance for Life on social media?
Yes, so I've got a website. It's www.balance and 4life.co.za. I have got a Balance for Life Facebook page, and they're welcome to contact me, Melissa Butler, on Facebook, and even send me a direct message. I work very much personally with people, because everyone's got we're all different. Our needs are different, our lifestyle's different, and I believe that my role is there to just empower people to see the best in themselves and to start believing in themselves, and for me to assist them in that rather than them fitting into my agenda and my plan. Because my business is growing and I'm going anyway, So
it's beautiful also to connect with these people, to listen.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure it started as a business and they're interested.
Friends.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's what I just say, this tapestry of people. Even sitting talking to you now today, it's just incredible. And it's all through just connecting with and talking to people. And we all, I so strongly believe that all of us have got such an important role to play with uplifting others and building other people up. And it is about relationships and friendships. And without You know, if it isn't a good relationship and friendship, it's not going to last as a business relationship either.
That's so true.
Yeah.
When someone comes back to you and say, I have my business now, I am financially independent, I can now take my kids for extra classes, how does such testimonies make you feel?
It's absolutely, no, you can't say. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I'll give you an example. We've qualified to go on a trip, all expenses paid, next year to Prague. It was meant to be this year, but it's next year to Prague. But the most exciting part about that is a lady that started in my business just 2 years ago has qualified also, and she's coming along as well, and her husband. And so when you see that kind of thing happening, I can think of another lady that, I can think of many examples, but yeah, many people, just trying to think, just whose lives have been completely changed.
Transformed.
And I have to say, for me, I mean, I've got 3 children. My eldest is 17 and down to 11. And for them, they've had, our life as a family has been very different. And I always say, just because, and I thank God that I had the guts to make that decision and believe in myself all those years ago, it's given us as a family the ability to just have a much more relaxed life. They've had mom at home with them all the time.
True.
And as life happens, we've had things that happen where the world feels like it's getting taken out from under you. But when you're not dependent as such on other people, and you're able to keep on,
Make
you know,
ends meet.
yes, exactly, and keep going.
Yeah.
It's exciting. But so many stories of people's lives, and you know, to even just see people all up through Africa that have had no hope and suddenly have just got this business. I mean, we were at a conference in October last year, and we were with, never forget, this one Nigerian man stood up, and he was a street child. He said we lived on the streets, and now here he was at Saint and Son with us, having the most wonderful time, and he's had the ability to build up a business that is that's going to change the future of his family for generations to come.
A legacy.
Absolutely. And that's what we all can do, all of us.
Yeah. No excuse.
Exactly.
There's
exactly.
no excuse.
I know. We see it too often, don't we? That people that make things happen, that they could use every excuse. Yeah.
And I always say to my friends, the only reason that I don't do something is because I don't want to do it. Yeah, because I will find all the excuses. But if it was dear to my heart, I would make a way. I would find a way to make it happen.
I was reading something last night, and he was just saying the biggest temptation in the world is to just fall into excuses, average, feeling sorry for yourself, going along with the negativity. Those are all temptations that we can fall into, and everyone will excuse us if we go along that route, because everyone's like that. But it's to keep yourself strong and carry on on your journey.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Melissa, let's say I want to start my business. What 3 points would you give me to
You need to have a dream.
Yes.
A big dream, something that you just is burning inside you. You need to have a vehicle, something that's a vehicle as in a business opportunity that's going to be able to take you there. And you need to have the ability to stick it out until you get there, to just do what it takes. I mean, I say it all the time, do what it takes, but really that's the bottom line. And doing what it takes means growing yourself as a person, accept that the person that you are now is not going to be the same person that's at that place where you're going to be one day, because you would have grown into that person.
Be comfortable with change.
Yes, absolutely.
And COVID has taught this.
Completely. That we don't have control over a lot of stuff out there. So we need to be adaptable.
That's true. And I'm sure people who are not interested in tech things, they had to learn the hard way.
Very quickly, yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Otherwise, are you at a place where you had envisioned yourself to be, or
I have to
even
say,
better?
Absolutely, even this year has been, I can look back very thankfully and just saying it has been a mind-blowing year as far as positivity goes. My business has grown by, I think, 45%. We've had incredible growth. And I've just seen many people's lives change this year, just this year, through this business. I've got people in my team that have just done incredible things. So yes, I've got big dreams still for us, big dreams of where to go and where I'm headed. Also because I need to make an impact. I've got a much bigger impact still to make. out there than I have so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the same purpose that drove you off your comfortability.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And to say, go out there,
Yes.
do something to
Yes.
change lives
Yes.
and people. Thank you so
Yes.
much for your time, Melissa.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
I enjoyed. I'm sure you out there, you are being challenged to start a business, do something with your life, also with your health, man. Look after yourself and things like that. If a friend needs to listen to this and they didn't, they can go to our podcast.